We are here because you might have some questions about the Leading People Culture and Innovation program. I want to start off with straight logistics. So we're going to have logistical questions. Let's get into those first and kind of talk about those, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. So this program, if you complete the program, you will get a certificate of achievement. Okay, a Stanford Certificate of Achievement. And I'm going to talk about all of these things more, but I just want to tell you, broad base, a Certificate of Achievement. This program is online, self-paced. You can enroll at and learn at any time, which means if it's Tuesday at 3 o'clock and you're like, I really want to learn this thing, you log in, you enroll, you log in, it's available to you there. It's online asynchronous learning. There are 6 courses within the program, 6. And then you complete 4 of the courses to earn the certificate. Okay, so those are baseline logistics here. I'm not trying to hurry us along too much, but these are the logistics. But I wanted to talk about 2 big takeaways here for the program. My team and I talked to learners and spoke to managers all over the world across industries because we wanted to understand, what do people want? And there were 2 big takeaways that came out of that. One is people want to learn new things. They want to upskill. They want to earn a certificate. They want to get promoted and move to different companies or move up within their own company. But they want to do it in a good amount of time and on their time. Here's the first big takeaway. Spend 5 hours a week and earn a Stanford certificate within 3 months. 5 hours a week, earn your certificate within 3 months. That's the first thing. The second thing is you can customize this program to fit your needs. There's 6 courses within the program. You only need to complete 4 to get your certificate. So let's look at this more closely. First I want to show you the certificate. So this is your Stanford certificate. It's a digital certificate. You complete 4 of the 6 courses. This is what you get. It's issued by the School of Engineering. You can print it. You can frame it. You can keep it just digitally on your LinkedIn profile. This is what your certificate looks like if you complete the program. Let's look at the courses. So within the program courses, 4 to earn your certificate. Over on the left-hand side, there's 2 courses within the certificate that are required. The Leading Innovation course is required, and the Scaling Excellence course is required. So these are the 2 courses that we think foundationally, these are the 2 that you need to successfully complete this program. And then over on the right-hand side, we have 4 other courses here, and you can choose 2. So you have your 2 requireds, and then your 2 that you can choose from. Okay, so let me give you a couple of scenarios. When we talk about customizing this program, maybe you're a manager that doesn't really need to learn about how to manage across boundaries. We talked to managers who said, you know, this course looks good for team collaboration, managing across boundaries, but everyone that I manage is in my same office. They sit right by me, and we can go to lunch, we can pop in the conference room. I don't really need that course. But you know what I'm really interested in? I'm really interested in getting buy-in for my ideas. In fact, I have some really good ideas within my organization, and I want to really talk about how I can get them implemented. That's the course that I think is next for me. So if one of these course topics is maybe not applicable to your professional role right now, you can decide which ones that you want to take. That's what we mean when we say customizable. 2 required, and then another 2 optional. Great question that just came in. If you see me look down, I'm just looking at the Q&A box here. Can we complete all 6? Yes, you can complete all 6. You just only need 4 to earn your certificate by spending 5 hours per week to earn your certificate within 3 months. So you can complete all 6. You just 4 required for the program. Okay, and we'll talk more about that. We can talk about the different ways that you can enroll as well. Okay, let's talk briefly about the Stanford faculty that are teaching within the program. Listen, this is the same thing that you can find on their bios. Every one of our faculty members who are in this program, they have achievements, and they have publications, and they have books, and they have all kinds of awards. Too many to list. If I tried to list them out, I'd be here for 3 years, and and the list of paper would fill the Pacific Ocean. These are accomplished people. They are all great educators as well. And that's what I think is important for everyone to understand is what we're trying to do when you're taking one of our courses is we're trying to replicate the experience within the classroom. So if you are in the classroom with Bob Sutton, you are going to feel a particular way. And that's what we're trying to do with these courses. They're all passionate educators. They all have worked with industry, and they're constantly working with industry, and they're Stanford academics. They are Stanford faculty. And so what's really awesome, oh, I just got an emoji. So what's really awesome is for these courses within this program, you have the Stanford academic research angle, but you also are hearing from industry professionals. Stanford is nestled in Silicon Valley. We like to bring into these courses, here's what we want you to know, here's how it can be applied. We have great interviews with industry professionals. And I think that that's something that you really can get out of these courses with these faculty members. And also, I think it's important to know that these are just really great people and humans. Like Bob Sutton is emeritus at Stanford. He's there for 40 years. Huggy Rao, he's the guy that's always going to ask you your favorite food if you met him in person. Jennifer Acker, I read something in her bio that was so great. She said she won a dance contest in the 1980s, and it's one of her greatest achievements. Like these kinds of things. Chaim Mendelson, passionate educator. Rita Catilla, wonderful human. All her classes always have a wait list. In fact, all of these professors always have a wait list here at Stanford for their classes. These are the people that are teaching in the program. So I can list all their accomplishments, or I can just tell you a little bit about them too. Okay, so we know who's teaching in the program. Let's talk about, and this gets back to the question that I had that came in, can we complete all 6? Yes, let's talk about enrollment options. So we have what's called an all access plan. The all access plan is you can purchase all 6 courses for the price of 4, which is $3,975. Now, if you do this, it will be one transaction. And the reason why I say that is sometimes we hear from people, you know, I really want to take this, but I need my manager to sign off on it. Completely agree. Maybe your manager is only signing off once because your professional development is one purchase with the all access plan. If you do enroll via the all access plan, then you have access for 1 year. Now, that's great that you can have access for 1 year, but also we know you can spend 5 hours a week and you can earn your certificate within 3 months, but you get access for 1 year. This is also nice. And when I do any professional development online, I do like to go back and refer sometimes directly to the learning. Maybe at work, a project came up that's directly relatable, or maybe I want to remind myself of a particular quote that Jennifer Acker gave me about storytelling, these sorts of things. Access for 1 year. Also, if you purchase the all access plan, you have available to you the interest-free payment plan option. So you can break up your payments. So that's the first way. You can get access to all the courses in the program with the all access plan. You can also purchase your courses one at a time to earn your certificate. We have learners that do this all the time. They will purchase one course at a time. Maybe it's once every 6 months. They give themselves time to go through it. And when you purchase a course, you have 60 days to go through it. So you can do it one at a time. Or maybe you're like, hey, Robyn, program sounds great, but what I really need is I need one specific skill. I really need to learn, or I really want to learn how to tell more effective stories within my status meeting, because I know when I'm talking about something that I'm really passionate about, I want to get everyone on board with me. Or in my company, I really want to be able to tell a customer story more effectively, really want to take that storytelling course. Great. You can take one course if you'd like. Okay, so those are our enrollment options. I don't see any questions coming up. Is everyone out there? Can I get an emoji? Is everyone with me? Okay. So every time you take a course, you earn a record of completion when you successfully complete every individual course. It's issued by the School of Engineering. It's a digital certificate. You can print it and frame it, or you can add to your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so if you go through the program, you take 4 courses and you earn your certificate for the program, your certificate of achievement, wonderful. You also are going to get a record of completion every time you successfully complete a course. So that's a question that we've gotten before. Let's see, what is the time commitment overall? Good question. You can earn your, time to complete program is 40 to 48 hours, depending. So that's the whole program. Let's see, next question. If I get access to 6 courses together, do I have 3 months or 1 year? Great question. So if you do the all access plan, let me go back here a second. If you do the all access plan and you get 6 courses and you do 1 transaction, then you have access to all of those courses for 1 year within it. Okay. All right. Let me keep going here. Okay. So who is this program for? Great question. So this is for someone who is already a manager and wants to become a leader. You know how to manage people, you know how to communicate and present, but you want to take it a step further. You want to learn the subtle skills that will set you apart as an effective leader. As we talked about before, maybe you want to upskill. Maybe you want to learn something new. Maybe there's something specific that you want to learn, and you can find it within the program. So something I want to show you next, before I move on, Mark Huggins, how much is the all access plan? A great question, $3,975. Okay, here's something I want to talk to you about. I find it helpful to understand what my peers are doing or how this course and the learnings can be actively put into practice in my life or in my professional role. So I've included a few here because I think they can just like get your juices flowing and you can kind of see what people are doing with these learnings out of the courses. This is Joe. Had a conversation with Joe, wonderful human. He was the chief innovation officer at his organization. He really loved the scaling excellence. Well, he loved he loved lots of courses, but I remember specifically, he really loved the scaling excellence course, which is one of the required courses in the program. And he really loved the power of stories course. And he was super excited about bringing these learnings back to his organization. And within 6 months after earning his certificate in a program, Joe founded his own digital marketing company. So I'm not suggesting that we are going to go out and found new companies and that's what's going to happen if you take this program. But I think it's really interesting that he was so excited about the learnings and what he was wanting to put into practice in his existing role that he ended up doing something a little bit different. So that's Joe. I also think it's really helpful to put a face behind because, you know, right now you're on your side of the computer, I'm on my side of the computer. And so you can see my face, which is great. But also here, you can see Joe. And this is someone who we've interacted with on our side and who's really likes these courses and found them impactful. Okay, so this is Talisha. Talisha was an HR leadership role at Boeing in the aviation industry. And she was really excited about these courses because she was in a functional role that was going to be having a lot of communication across teams. And she also wanted to bring a more innovative mindset to solve maybe old problems in a new way. Dynamic person. We had great conversations with her, and she was able to bring these learnings into her role and see problems in a completely separate way. And you can see here, this is a quote from Talisha. The lessons have helped me position ideas to our stakeholders in a way that feels more of a partnership, which leads to more buy-in. And buy-in is the Grease on the wheels of a professional role. Definitely agree. Okay, let me get to a couple of questions here. Can I take one course at a time? If so, how long will this take to earn my certificate? You can take the courses one at a time. And, the same thing would apply. If you spent 5 hours per week, you can still earn your certificate within 3 months. So you can take them one at a time. And the cost would be, if you were buying them one at a time and you wanted to take 4, then you would do it individually. Someone asked, are the courses different prices? All the courses except for one are the same price. And you guys can see this on the page as well that we can push out to you so that, actually it's linked in your dashboard. So each course in the program is $995, except for getting buy-in for your ideas, which is $765. So great questions. Can the certificate course hours be applied towards a degree? No, sorry, unfortunately, no. These are non-degree courses. So these earn you a certificate and they cannot be transferred. Okay, just checking the Q&A. Okay. This one was really interesting. So we talked with Learner Julian, who's a manager at a large tech company that we all have heard of many times. And during the conversation, it was so interesting. He said, if I could have taken this course years ago, it would have saved my company so much money and conflict with interpersonal relations. His favorite course was getting buy-in for your ideas. And he was really thinking like, wow, if I could have found this course earlier in my career, the leg up it would have given me. And they're just really insightful comments by Julian, which I really appreciated. And then also, and this is something I talked about earlier, is he really likes that the courses are research-based training that Stanford provides, but also every course has industry examples baked in. So, for example, in the business model innovation course, here, let me find it here. Let me just give you an example here. So the business model innovation course, you're going to see an interview with an exec from Airbnb, for example. If you want to know what's going on, you're going to see interviews in getting buy-in for your ideas course, in the leading innovation course, in all the courses, because we really want to make sure that we're giving insight into these are great learnings, these are great practices, here's how they've been applied, here's how they can be applied in your role. Would this course be applicable for someone in healthcare? Yes, if you're a manager in healthcare, absolutely. Absolutely. These are foundational principles that can be applied in all industries. Okay. I don't see any more questions. Anyone who has a question, please put it in the Q&A box. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to slides. Oh, this one was really great. I think a lot of us can relate to this when you have so much on your plate, but you still manage to get something done, or maybe you want to get something done. So Ankita is a manager at a tech startup. She made a career transition from engineering into product and people management. So she made a whole transition in her career in a completely new direction. She realized when she got to that role that she was missing key skills that she needed to succeed. She put her hand up, hey, I need some help here, and completed courses while pregnant and working full time. She says, if I can do it, anyone can do it, which is great, which is a great sentiment. And I think one of the reasons why this is, it becomes possible is that you can learn on your own time. So when we were talking to managers across industries, across the world, we heard from them that they wanted these learnings, but they also wanted to be able to log off and go spend time with their friends and family. And they wanted to fit the learning in where it fit best in their life. And how can you do that? You could take asynchronous materials. So maybe it's Tuesday at lunchtime and you have an hour, you can pop in and you can go through some content within that hour. Or maybe you like to really, block out 3 hours on a Saturday afternoon. Then you can do that as well. And I think that's one of the things that really helps people achieve their goals as they go through these courses and programs, is that they do have that flexibility. Okay, someone has asked, what is the learning format? For example, is there a class to attend, or how do we interact with the professor? Thank you for this question. So all of the courses within the courses are pre-recorded lectures from the faculty. There's also exercises built in. There are readings that are suggested and that are required within the courses that the faculty member has said, hey, if we're learning about this topic, they need to read this. These are the exercises that we're going to take them through. This is what I want them to think about. There is lectures where they're talking to you. It's all pre-recorded, but it's in the course. So when I say talking to you, what I mean is they're pre-recorded, you're in the course, and they're teaching. And then also we have interviews with industry professionals that are pre-recorded, but are in here. And so when you're in the platform, it's a learning journey throughout the course. And then there's also a final exam within the course. So to make sure I hit this on the head, how do we interact with the professor? There is no direct interaction with the faculty member. I want to make that clear, just so we are very clear on that. These are courses. So in order to make sure that it's asynchronous learning and you can do this at any time, then this is one of the trade-offs, is everything is pre-recorded, asynchronous materials available for you anytime. I will say also that the faculty members who are in this program, these are based on teachings that they do on campus all the time. So some people wouldn't be able to come to Stanford or enroll in the course, and this is a way for people to learn valuable skill sets from Stanford faculty, even if you're not on campus. Okay, what is the outcome of this course? Great question. Let's go back to this. Couple of different answers here. We call a number of courses together a program. It's a program. If you complete the program, which means you successfully complete 4 courses, you get a Stanford certificate. People earn Stanford certificates, and then the reasons why I've seen people want to do this is they want to learn something new. They want to be able to have the Stanford certificate saying, this person completed this program. Maybe it's something that you want to have your manager see. Maybe you're using it as a promotion, or for a promotion. You're putting it on your LinkedIn. Maybe you're listing it on your resume. And then you have all the learnings that you actually were able to take in and learn, and then apply that in your professional role, kind of like Talisha did at Boeing. Or Ankita, who was like, I'm in a new role and I need some new skills. So this is the outcome of the program. If you want the outcome, let's look at this. This is the outcome of a program. But then for the course, each individual course, if you only take one course, you can do that. You can take 4 courses. You can complete all 6 courses. Every time you complete a course successfully, you also get a record of completion. So if someone says, what is the outcome of a course? This is what you got. Issued by the School of Engineering, digital asset. You can print it and frame it, or you can just put it on your LinkedIn. Okay, thanks for your answers. If we have questions, how or whom do we ask our questions? Great question. We have an email address that you can write into, and we can try to answer any questions you have. We try to run these sessions because we find it's very valuable to hear from a live person and try to have some back and forth so we can help you understand any timely questions that you might have about the program. So thanks for that. So we're going to give you that. How do we complete a course? So you go through the course, you watch the videos, you work through the exercises, which are all there on your dashboard. You will have homework in that, while you're working through the course, you are watching the lectures, you're filling in for the exercises, you're doing the readings, and at the very end, there is a final exam. The program is online. All of these programs are online. All of the courses within the program are online. And that's one of the ways it's so accessible, because if you can't come to Stanford campus, there's a way, no matter where you are in the world, that you can take these courses online. So I'm here in front of you, but I have a whole team with me. I just want to make sure, team, is there anything else that I've left out here that, with a couple of minutes left, I need to say to everyone here? Let me know. If more people come from a company, is a discount allowed? Yes, we do offer discounts for group enrollments. And those it's found on our webpage, and you can write in and you will be able to reach our customer service and excellence team, and they will be able to assist you. Are these the only courses available online? No, we have a lot of courses online. This is just one program that I'm talking about today, but we have a whole portfolio of courses online that are completely online that you can take. Can you come to Stanford campus even with an online program? Thank you. Well, Stanford campus is a place you can come in general, yes. Relating to this online program, well, this year, for example, we have an in-person awarding ceremony that we're doing in June. So anyone who has finished their certificate or will finish their certificate, we do have an in-person event that's on our website as well. But there's not an online component for this program. Great questions. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Someone said, who are the interviews? They are from across industry, from startups or tech companies, all kinds. I think I mentioned that there is an interview with Airbnb. Jennifer Ocker in the storytelling class has a lot of podcast interviews with heads of a lot of big companies. So not just startups. Some startups are absolutely in here, but it's a range of things. All right, everyone, we're 22 seconds over. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I love to run these sessions and just hear real time from people, learners, students. Thanks so much. Thanks for joining. And you'll be getting your recording, and really appreciate you being here. You guys make it fun. Thank you. Bye-bye.